Hey everybody, here's another episode of Ohio Wildlife History. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I know in my previous episodes I've been talking about wildlife that we have lost. But today I want to kind of gear towards a different area. Actually, I want to talk about wildlife that actually moved into Ohio due to landscape change. Now, to give you an idea of why did this happen, this is a great illustration. If you look down below, there's those three different Ohio maps, and from 1803 to 2003. So look clear to the left. That's 1803. As you can see, there is a lot of vast wilderness. Actually, most of Ohio was forested. Also, too, we had 5 major prairies in Ohio, and most of northwestern Ohio was a swampy area. It's actually called the Great Black Swamp. So then what happened was, as the settlers came into Ohio, what did the settlers do? They destroyed a lot of that natural landscapes, cut down the prairies and the forests, drained the wetlands, and that nice natural landscape that was once there in pre-settlement times is basically altered. It has changed. And as you can see right down below in the 1903 map, it looks a lot different. As you can see, there's not a lot of trees, and some of the open land species of wildlife are actually thriving. So a lot of the species like cottontail rabbit, red fox, bobwhite quail, and groundhogs actually really thrived in these new conditions, because we have to remember, again, prior to settlement times, Ohio was mostly forested. Now, yes, these guys were found throughout Ohio, but not very abundant as they are today. So with changing that landscape, these guys were a lot more abundant. So here are some of the wildlife that we really don't have much documentation that they were here in pre-settlement times, really early Ohio, and now they're very abundant today. I bet you see this guy a lot. This is the fox squirrel. So yes, we do have squirrels that are native to Ohio or that have been here forever. Now, don't get me wrong. There were probably pockets of fox squirrels. I would probably imagine we probably just didn't see them as much because these guys kind of prefer more open forest versus like gray squirrels, flying squirrels. Those guys really like very thick forested environment. But they believe, I think it was about 1837, 1838 is when the first documented fox squirrel was found in eastern Ohio. And now you can find them throughout all 88 counties. Next we have is this guy. It's called the brown-headed cowbird. And this guy, again, very abundant today. They believe by 1840, the very first one was documented. I couldn't really find any research of where, particularly in Ohio. I would probably think in the northeastern Ohio. And if you know anything very special about this species, it actually does what's called brood parasitism. So that means it will lay its eggs in other birds' nests and have those parents raise its young. So some scientists believe that this species has caused a decline, and especially some of our warbler species like Kirtland's warbler. But we've also found out throughout time that it wasn't just due to the brown-headed cowbird. It was also due to a lot of habitat restrictions because Kirtland's warblers need young jack pine in order to nest. And if you know anything about jack pine, in order for it to release seeds, it needs intense heat. But we'll definitely do that for a later episode about prescribed burns and how's that important. Then we have this beautiful owl, the barn owl. So they believe the very first one was spotted in 1861, actually near Cincinnati region, so southwestern Ohio. And for my history people, what else happened in 1861? Something very big in the United States. Let me know in the comments below if you know the answer. But unfortunately, this species is actually not very common throughout Ohio. They're actually considered a threatened species, really due to habitat loss. But the big thing is they need abandoned structures, abandoned buildings, or barns in order to nest in. They have just been so habituated with people that that's basically what they need in order to nest. Same thing goes with like purple martins. And the last example I want to give you is this guy. I bet you guys know this. animal, the coyote. So yes, the very first one that was spotted in the state of Ohio was by 1919. So the big thing was once we've been talking about the whole habitat thing, but the other big thing, what they believe introduced coyotes into Ohio, was we got rid of the large predators such as wolves and mountain lions, and especially the wolves, because wolves, yes, are their cousins, but wolves will compete against coyotes, and wolves will actually eat coyotes if they have to. So once the wolves and the mountain lions left and more open land habitat, this guy decided, hey, let's move into the state of Ohio.